General Hospital spoilers hint that the real Drew Kane may return and expose the imposter who married Willow Kane. Willow caused her husband's stroke, but what if the man she tied the knot with isn't really Drew at all? It's no secret that Drew has been behaving completely out of character for quite some time. At least he was until Willow incapacitated him with that syringe and the stroke crisis that followed. Now Drew's doctors aren't hopeful that he'll ever make a full recovery, so Willow's plan has paid off. With Drew out of commission like this, maybe it's a good time to deliver a twist and shake up this GH storyline. Ever since Drew started acting like a totally different guy, fans have wondered if he's even the real Drew anymore. It's possible that an imposter was swapped in, especially since Drew started behaving this way after he got out of Pentonville. That was when Drew first started going off the rails, so it'd be easy to rewrite it so the real Drew was snatched and replaced with an evil look-alike. Considering all the shadiness going on with Jen Sidwell and director Ross Cullum's partnership, there's the potential for a Drew imposter to fit in that story. There was previously plenty of buzz about clones maybe being involved, so there's a chance that a Drew clone married Willow. Anything is possible in the world of soaps where imposters have been known to create so many messes over the years. Drew's going to be immobile and will struggle to speak for who knows how long. Even if Drew makes a miraculous recovery somewhere down the line, there's room for another Drew to re-enter the picture in the meantime. It could bring questions that imposter Drew can't answer in his current state and force the returning Drew to prove he's the real deal. Perhaps the real Drew could escape captivity and expose some lab experiments that he was forced into. Whatever the case, General Hospital spoilers say there are bound to be more Drew curveballs, so stick with us for updates on all the jaw-dropping news ahead. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching! So let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, January 28th reveal that Nathan West and Lulu Spencer will carry out a search while Carly Spencer blocks Valentin Cassadine. Charlotte Cassadine will also unleash some traitor rage, so here's what GH fans can expect. For starters, it looks like Emma Scorpio Drake will shut down Giovanni Gio Palmieri's wardrobe choice and delay them from helping with Tracy Quartermain's heirloom retrieval quest. Gio and Emma will face an encounter that causes a setback as well, so they might find Charlotte outside the Q mansion. Charlotte might have been hoping Danny Morgan could drive her over to Carly's house on his motorbike again, but that won't be possible due to the snow getting worse. It looks like Charlotte may have to hunker down at the Quartermain residence, where she'll vent to Danny about Valentin putting his trust in a backstabbing traitor. Charlotte will obviously mean Jack Brennan, so she'll plan to make sure he gets what he's got coming. Over with Lulu, she'll push Nathan to help her track Charlotte down. Nathan will agree and kick off a search with Lulu, but the blizzard will lead to them getting stranded together soon enough. In Carly's attic, Valentin will get updates on Charlotte going missing and vow to go find his daughter. Carly will insist Valentin can't do that and work to convince him that he has to stay put. At Drew Kane's house, Tracy will discover someone surprising is already there. Will it be Martin Gray who's perhaps waiting out the storm and essentially guarding the place? Just try and throw me out, Tracy warns in Wednesday's preview video, which certainly sounds like something she'd say to Martin. In the meantime, Portia Robinson will refuse to let Trina Robinson ignore her any longer. After Portia confronts Trina and forces a conversation, Trina will open up to her mom about just how painful her secrets were. At Windermere, Jocelyn Jacks will get stopped by someone and put on a phony smile. Who would want to break in here in this weather? Jocelyn asks in Wednesday's preview clip. Jocelyn may make up an excuse for her visit and try to wiggle out of whatever tight spot she lands in. Down in captivity, Anna Devane will continue to freak out over her latest visitor. It's doubtful that the real Caesar Fazan is alive, but Anna may believe he is based on the person standing in front of her. This could be a case of someone using a Fezon mask to dupe Anna, who was exclaiming no over a white-haired man when the show last left off. General Hospital spoilers say Anna will continue to reel over all the mind games, so stay tuned for any other twisted news to come. General Hospital recap for Tuesday, January 27th reveals that Windermere went dark after Jocelyn Jax's blow-up. Caesar Faison also seemingly appeared to Anna Devane, at least in some form. At Jocelyn's apartment, she asked Brick how to cut the power on Spoon Island, so he choked on his drink. Jocelyn pretended she just needed information for a school assignment, so Brick offered up some instructions, though he still looked suspicious of her motives. At Sonny Corinthos' place, he warned Jason Morgan to be careful when it came to Britt Westbourne, since she might betray him to protect herself. Brick showed up with new intel regarding the 2 attempts on Sonny's life last year, so Sonny was surprised since he thought the trail had gone cold. After Brick admitted a source pointed him to someone in the WSB, he didn't have a name yet. Sonny wondered if it could be Jack Brennan, but Brick didn't think so based on the intel he was given. Once Brick had more info to share, he assured Sonny that he'd be in touch. After Brick was gone, Sonny continued to mull over Brennan's possible guilt. Sonny acknowledged that it'd mean Brennan had been keeping secrets from Carly Spencer, but Jason had no problem believing that part. At Windermere, Britt pretended she was there to serve as the concierge doctor, now that she had her medical license back. Marco Rios played along about being under the weather, but none of this made sense to Lucas Jones since he was a doctor and could offer medical exams if need be. Sidwell popped up with Ava Jerome, so he had to play along with the concierge doctor story too. Britt was ready to leave after determining that Marco was fine, but Sidwell pushed her to stay due to the snowstorm. Britt persuaded Sidwell to let her go, but he privately made it clear he wanted her to get to work after he satisfied her lab demands. Afterward, Sidwell, Lucas, and Marco convinced Ava to stay the night at Windermere. Meanwhile, Jocelyn planted an explosive device at the power grid station. After the device blew up, things suddenly went dark on Spoon Island. Jocelyn checked out the castle through some binoculars and saw that it was indeed without power. Inside Windermere, Sidwell and the others decided to head to the mainland since the generator wouldn't power very many rooms. Marco pulled Sidwell aside and wondered about leaving their guest behind, but Sidwell cryptically insisted she wouldn't be alone. In captivity, Anna continued to hear Faison's voice and demanded that he show himself. A pair of boots could eventually be seen entering the room following the power outage. GH fans saw the back of a white-haired man's head, so Anna clearly thought it was Faison as she cried out, "No!" At the Quartermaine mansion, Tracy Quartermaine told Giovanni Gio Palmieri that she wanted to give him a painting from the collection of Quartermaine heirlooms that were still at Drew Kane's house. Tracy planned on the movers grabbing the mementos for her, while Willow Kane was staying with Nina Reeves, but they canceled on her due to the snowstorm. Since this had to happen tonight, Tracy decided to retrieve the Quartermaine heirlooms herself. Gio and Emma Scorpio Drake insisted on helping just as soon as they put on more appropriate clothing. At the Metro Court, Carly cut her conversation with Jack Brennan short so she could join Lulu Spencer and Charlotte Cassadine nearby. While Lulu was taking a phone call, Charlotte pushed Carly to come up with an excuse so she could see Valentin Cassadine. Carly didn't want to raise suspicions and pushed Charlotte to steer clear of Jen Sidwell too. Once Lulu reappeared, she revealed that the cops needed all hands on deck due to the snowstorm. That's why Dante Falconeri called with updates on Charlotte not having a police escort for the time being. Charlotte wanted to check on Butterscotch the horse at the stables, but Lulu thought they should get their food to go and head out before the snow got worse. As Charlotte got irritated, she stomped off claiming she was headed to the restroom. Back with Brennan, he summoned Nina and pushed her to try grilling Charlotte about Valentin again. Nina objected, but Brennan threatened to make the traffic cam footage resurface and make sure Willow was guilty in the court of public opinion. That could help Michael Corinthos with his custody case, so Nina reluctantly agreed to question Charlotte another time. Nina thought it'd be too difficult to get Charlotte away from Lulu right now, but Brennan pushed her to make it happen soon. Around the corner, it was revealed that Charlotte had been eavesdropping on Brennan and Nina's discussion. Once Brennan joined Carly at a table, she gave him the news about Britt picking a fight with her and dumping Jason Morgan. Carly was glad Jason was free of Britt and acted like nobody should be in a relationship where the other person lies right to their face. Brennan hoped Carly might hunker down in his room to wait out the storm, but she said she had Donna Corinthos tonight and needed to relieve the babysitter. After Nina approached Lulu about scheduling an outing with Charlotte, Lulu realized Charlotte had been gone a long time. That led to Lulu searching the restroom and coming up empty. Charlotte wasn't picking up her phone either, so Lulu started to worry that Valentin had run off with her. However, it was determined that Charlotte was seen leaving the lobby alone, so Lulu guessed maybe she went to check on her horse like she talked about earlier. General Hospital spoilers say Lulu is on the verge of recruiting Nathan West for a Charlotte hunt, so stay tuned. The next General Hospital spoilers video for Wednesday, January 28, 2026, shows Lulu turning to Nathan for help. Meanwhile, Valentin prepares to search for Charlotte, and Jocelyn gets caught breaking into Windermere. Emma tells Gio, No, this is not gonna work. The advanced teasers state that Gio and Emma are waylaid, but by what? They're on a mission to help Tracy retrieve her tchotchke's heirlooms from Drew's house. Meanwhile, Lulu implores Nathan, I need you to help me track her down. The teasers also state the obvious that she's trying to find Charlotte, especially considering she doesn't have police protection, and a catastrophic blizzard is bearing down on Port Charles. Portia tells someone, I won't let you ignore me any longer. Is she talking to Trina? They're long overdue for an important conversation. At Windermere, Jocelyn says to someone, Who would want to break in here in this weather? Hopefully, it's not Pascal that caught her there. She's on a fast track to getting fired from her spy gig, unless she stops the villains and saves the world. Elsewhere, Charlotte tells Danny, My dad put his trust in a backstabbing traitor. She's probably at the Quartermain mansion, going on about Jack and what a louse she thinks he is. Valentin vows to Carly, I'm gonna go find my daughter, who responds, You cannot do that. She's not wrong. He needs to continue laying low or he's gonna get caught and end up back in the clink. And at Drew's house, Tracy dares someone to just try and throw me out. The teasers also show that Tracy makes a surprising discovery. Considering Kai took the blackmail evidence against Portia, what could Tracy find there? On General Hospital, the blizzard arrived with the wrong energy, less like a storm and more like something that had already been decided somewhere else. Streets tightened, conversations sped up, and Port Charles took on that familiar posture it gets when danger feels close but unnamed. Snow and wind were part of it, sure, but so was the creeping sense that Cassadine business rarely stays contained. The January 27th episode scattered little warnings throughout the hour, and a sense of dread hovered over every scene. Tracy tried to do Tracy things, which meant heirlooms, revenge, and treating Drew's house like an overdue library fine, but even her plan ran into the same wall everyone else hit. The storm got a vote. The movers backed out, the window stayed shut, and that whole sense of tonight's our window collapsed fast. Because in Port Charles, weather, bad timing, and other people's schemes tend to coordinate whether anyone invited them or not. The Metro Court saw people exiting quickly, while Jack kept issuing orders like he could outrun the chaos. Meanwhile, Lulu realized Charlotte was missing and panicked. Elsewhere, Brick got pulled into Jocelyn's I'm asking for a class routine, and it played like a teenager doing homework with a blowtorch. She wanted to know how to blow the power on Spoon Island. Soon after, she made the call, literally and figuratively, cutting power to Spoon Island because she needed darkness, privacy, and access to the secret lab. The oncoming storm gave her cover. And as she expected, Sidwell suggested that everyone leave the island. As the snow rolled in, the story felt very familiar. We've seen this before, such as when Mikos and his family tried to manipulate the weather to blackmail the world, and later when Victor attempted to use a deadly airborne pathogen as a biological weapon to kill most of the world's population. Back in Anna's cell on the island, the darkness completed the circuit. Flickering lights, then nothing. Then a door opening and a person emerging who, from the back, looked like Fazan. The storm, the outage, the island cut off from the mainland all lined up too neatly to feel random. What if this isn't just history echoing, but escalation? What if Helena never died so much as stepped sideways, letting Fazan finish what Miko started, and Victor modernized, shifting from diamonds and pathogens to something colder and cleaner? Cold fusion as control, not power. An endless source of energy that doesn't just keep lights on, but lets you decide where they go off. When storms stall, when systems fail, when cities freeze in place like chess pieces waiting for a hand to move them. Helena never wanted chaos for its own sake. She wanted order enforced by inevitability, and Phazon's final project always leaned that way. Science stripped of ethics and aimed straight at dominance. If they're working together again, the blizzard isn't natural weather. It's a test run. On General Hospital, Jocelyn overheard Jack tell Cullum he was only dating Carly to get intel on Sunny. That should have played like a clean twist, but it didn't because the scene lingered in the back of the viewers' minds. Jack chose Carly even when it complicated his life, telling her that he loves her, and suddenly viewers were meant to believe it was all theater. That disconnect is what sent Chris McKenna to social media, where he decided to stop letting the conversation run without him. On X, formerly Twitter, McKenna wrote, "If Jack was faking his feelings for Carly, why would he be fake crying and being brokenhearted all year when there are no witnesses? There would also be no stakes with these SLEs." Sorry guys, I know some folks want Jack to be faking, but the show has made it unequivocally clear he ain't. #GH. The fans got into it with him, prompting the actor to further respond. Arguing with a guy who has read the next 25 scripts is a wild kind of hubris. A fan asked if he expected the fan pushback that resulted from the scene, and McKenna replied, "When I saw the way they edited it, I knew it would. It was clear as day Jack was putting on a show when we shot it, but with the camera distant, it wasn't as obvious." He later shared a screenshot of Joss and Jack talking on the pier and captioned it, "As a counterpoint, Jack's feelings for Joss have not been incontrovertibly proven. I have my feelings on the matter, but valid arguments could be made on either side. #GH. Fans jumped in fast. One viewer admitted, "I knew he was lying, I just couldn't articulate what felt off," while another said, "It was obvious you were lying to Cullum to protect Carly." Someone else explained it more bluntly, writing, "Jack got in over his head and fell in love," while another added, "He's good at compartmentalizing his personal life and his job." McKenna dipped in and out of the replies, not to tidy things up, but to steady the ground, and he didn't try to sell Jack as noble or clean. He just reminded everyone that feelings shown in empty rooms still count, and that pretending otherwise usually means ignoring half the story. Isn't quite the villain everyone thinks. General Hospital's Jordan has been pining over Curtis for years. She finally got him back, which may not have been her best decision, especially when she had Brick waiting in the wings. If a man ever had baggage, it is Curtis. His marriage to Jordan started strong, but he ended up doing her dirty. He claimed to have divorced her because she lied to him. Her lie was about her job, but that wasn't really why he left her. He had eyes for Portia from the moment she arrived in Port Charles. He may have used Jordan's lie as an excuse, but he wanted to get back with the woman he had an affair with years earlier. The two were soon together, engaged, and then married. He forgave Portia pretty quickly when he found out that she had lied to him for years about Trina's paternity. When enough was enough with his wife, he ran back to Jordan, who was waiting with open arms. Now, he may be the father of Portia's baby. If he is, it will create nothing but drama in their new relationship. The former deputy mayor will have to deal with Curtis's ex for years. "Oh, Jordan, you can do so much better." Brick is a sexy, mysterious man who pops in and out of Port Charles without notice. He has had eyes for Jordan for a while now, and he isn't shy about letting her know. These two would make a great couple. Brick is not at all judgmental and would respect Jordan's decisions. There is also a spark between them that is obvious whenever they see each other. He would also be an asset to work with in her plan to take down Sidwell, which isn't going anywhere. Brick is somehow able to get information whenever he needs it. With him on her side, she may be a lot further along in her investigation. The only problem with the mysterious Brick is that he doesn't come around that often. The guy is in and out of town in a flash. If he were in a relationship with Jordan, he might want to make roots in Port Charles, which would make fans happy. Unfortunately, it's probably Stephen A. that doesn't have the time to settle in at GH, so Brick will keep on appearing and disappearing. Too bad it's not to be with Jordan.